The verse says, B'yoim taharasoi, on the day of his purification. The original sage's commentary on that verse, or explanation really, for the additional word in the day of, because really the verse could have said, this is the law, or this will be the law of the mitzera, of the leper, when he is purified. Be tarase. But when it says biyoim tarase, on the day of his purification, the sages explained that that verse, or that additional word in the verse, is telling us that in fact his purification can only happen at daytime. It cannot happen during the night. They say in the affirmative that the purification has to happen during the day. Rashi, however, though he bases his comment on the words of the sages, flips it around and says it cannot happen at night. Now, Rashi is not there to copy and paste the words of the sages. Rashi is there to tell you the most fundamentally basic meaning of the verse. And so if he chooses to change from the verbiage of the sages, there must be some level of simplification in that action, in that choice. Otherwise, he could just copy and paste the words of the sages. Why is it that Rashi tells us that the purification cannot take place during the night, rather than just follow along with what the sages say, which is that the purification must take place during the day? Everything in the physical has its root in the spiritual, and therefore the physical procedures for purification, the fact that they have to happen during physical daytime and not during physical nighttime, is all because of whatever is happening in the spiritual realms as they relate to the purity or impurity of something, the purification of something. And so purity, in essence, depends on light and is negated by the absence of light. Remember that impurity is when reality falls short of potential. Darkness is not a something, it's rather the absence of light. And so, as much as purification is where reality achieves potential, and impurity is where reality falls short of potential, that obviously lines up with light during the daytime and the absence of light during the nighttime. And Rashi's choice to change from the verbiage of the sages is to emphasize that point. It's not that it happens to be that during the day is when we do his purification. It's that in the absence of the light of day, we're back to impurity. And so it must be that in order to achieve that purity that we are looking to purify him with, it must be when reality achieves potential. And therefore, it cannot be when it falls short of potential at night.